Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Greater Baltimore and Columbia. Today is September 24th. And this morning I'm reading from The Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. And I opened it up to page 470. The universe holds nothing against us. And this is the first paragraph. The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without if we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth. Turn the phone off here. Inopportune phone calls. Let me start that over again. There's nothing in the universe that holds. Take 3. The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without if we carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude. What immediately comes to mind is how easy it is to listen to all of the audio volumes of Shouldapedia that live in our heads that gets tapped by the activities of the outer world. And when we can train ourselves not to categorically ignore our conditioned thinking, not to categorically ignore the shoulds, but to know the truth beyond them, to recognize conditioned thinking as just that. It's learned earth thinking, and then to quiet ourselves and listen to that still small voice within that knows something deeper, that knows something that is unconditioned, that knows absolute truth, because that still small voice in the quietness of ourselves is infinite truth. And when we can train ourselves, and my experience is it absolutely requires training. It requires constant practice to be in this human experience all in and remember the truth of my being. Because as I remember the truth of my being, I instantly know the truth of your being. Getting caught up in the chaos is where my forgetter gets ignited, where I forget the truth of our being and start assigning a truth to how people show up. When I start assigning behavior equals personhood when it doesn't. None of us, the truth of us is never our behavior. That is simply evidence of our current belief system, all of which is changeable, all of which is healable. And so as we go deeper into that relationship with that still small voice, that internal knower within us, the more clear we become about who we really are. And the more clear we become about who we really are, the more that expresses as our outward self. So that's what I think Holmes is offering us. Good morning, Gus. It's offering us that opportunity of clarity to correct course anytime we choose. And heaven knows we've got so much opportunity right now to practice, right? There's so much chaos happening around us. We have opportunities every moment of every day to practice remembering the truth of being. So I'm going to read that one more time. And we'll take that into our time of meditation. So I invite you to just take in and imagine. If you're not in a place where you can just automatically know this is true, imagine that it might be. The universe holds nothing against us. Nothing. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within. And the within may become the without if we carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude. And so let's take that into 5 minutes of quietness and solitude. How sweet, how precious, how tender to remember. To remember that still small voice within is the magnificence of life itself. That even in the experience of the stillness, the quietness, it is the enormity of one. One power, one presence, one life, one peace, one infinite intelligence, one absolute infinite abundance, infinite possibility, expressing itself in the multiplicity of form, yet never separate from itself. Expressing itself as this person that I know is Rafe, as the microphone I'm using, as the technology I'm using, as the plane that flies overhead, as my beloved pets that sleep next to me. All of it. This one infinite everything expressing itself, expanding its experience of itself, yet never separate, never used up one iota in how it expresses. Known by many, many names, it is still one thing. The formed and the unformed, the seen and the unseen, the singular substance that is creation itself. I am that in form, and what is true of me is true of all creation. All people, places, things, animal, vegetable, mineral, gas, all of it. The very cosmos, all of it. Infinite possibility expressing itself. And so I speak my word with full awareness, full embrace and embodiment that it is this divine everything speaking in, through, and as me, speaking itself into a greater experience, into greater expression. I claim and affirm that this day is a day of intentional relationship with the infinite in all, beyond appearances, beyond mistakes. That today is the activity of choice to see the absolute truth in, through, and as every expression of it. To no longer be fooled by appearances, to no longer be distracted by the noise of all of the shoulds that activate, and instead an embrace of healing with all of those shoulds, to literally practice changing my thinking, to change my life, recognizing that what changes in one place changes every place, because there's only one place. And so we shed the confusion, and in its place we claim clarity. We shed every vestige and idea of hatred, and in its place we stand on the agency of love, and love becomes the action of our lives. For such a time as this, we are each here here with the calling to simply express. To express the goodness and the sweetness and the magnificence of life itself. So I say yes. Yes to celebrating that that is the truth of being. Yes to celebrating that the activity of this creative process, the law of manifestation, that activity, the doer within the creative process, is simply receives and acts upon what it has received with laser accuracy. Immediately, no waiting period. It simply makes it so. And so I can let go. I can let go of any of that human chatter that tells me the human me needs to make something happen. And I can surrender to being led, to be used as a vessel of healing, used as a vessel of expressing that inward in the outwardness of my life. So I surrender. I let all resistance go and simply move into the activity of this divine yes, always in this moment of now. Yes. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.